Hello everybody, it's Aza here. So, it's been a while since I've done a scripted video, and considering how long it's been since I last posted, yeah. The reason for this is just that I've just not had any motivation to do videos lately, especially on the Sun and Moon show, which I need to quickly say now, I'm probably not going to do any more videos on that. I was working on a massive video that was like 50 minutes long and I just wasn't enjoying it, so I kind of sent it to the pits of hell. But yeah, as I said, speaking of hell, I've actually been watching Hazbin Hotel lately, a show I really liked but never really got around to speaking too much about it. And obviously, as everyone knows at this point, I've been rereading the Warrior Cat series, which I absolutely adore. One of the things I've really wanted to do for a while now is design characters as warrior cats. I know this has been done before, but I've always wanted to have a shot at doing it myself, and what better series to start with than Hazbin Hotel, in my opinion. It's two shows that I'm watching a lot of the minute, and I might as well do it now before my ADHD brain decides to skip off to the next thing that catches my attention. Oh look, a penny. So yeah, in this video I'm going to be designing Charlie, Vaggie, Angel, Husk, Alastor, and Cherri as warrior cats. I will probably do some more characters in the future, but these are the 6 that I'm going to do for now. So anyway, let's get on with the speed paints, and I hope you guys enjoy. So the first character that we're going to tackle is Charlie. Now for Charlie, I wanted to make sure that she looked like Charlie, and I didn't want to go too far into the whimsical sort of design, because as much as I would love to just do a bright red cat, which I can do, I wanted to try and make sure that these characters look a bit different. Plus, we did have to follow some rules about still keeping them looking like they could be actual cats. So for Charlie, I really wanted to make sure that she, 1, had her blonde hair, and 2, did still have some red on her. So eventually I landed on a red and light gold calico. Her build I kept slender because most of these characters are slender built. Didn't know what to do with her hair at first, but eventually I just did a little tuft of fur on her head, a little bit of her ear fluff, and I gave her a bushy mane, like chest mane. Her tail I wasn't sure how to do at first, but eventually I just went along with just a longer, pretty tail. I did mess around with her colours for a bit. Like at first I was going to do her mainly red, but eventually I changed to doing a cream colour because I think it would have looked a lot nicer. Obviously I did debate on changing her eye colour, but eventually I just left it as red as it just makes sense. When it comes to the name, I debated a lot, but eventually landed on Hope Song. The reason I landed on Hope Song is because 1, she's a very hopeful character, so it makes sense, and the suffix of song, the way I saw it, like in this AU, I guess you can call it, I made it so that her mother probably had the suffix of song, and I can imagine her dad, obviously Lucifer, when I do get around to making him, gave her the suffix of song to remind her of her mother, and probably himself as well. As for the role, I can see Hope Song as the deputy of her clan, and probably is a lot more involved with the clan than maybe her father, who would be the leader. So yeah, this is the final design. I really like this design, it's quite cute. I might change it a little bit in future, but for what it is right now, I think it looks okay. And it definitely gives off the vibes of Charlie, which is exactly what I wanted. The next character is Vaggie. With Vaggie, I wanted to make sure she looked a lot different from Charlie. The reason for this is mainly because in this AU, I guess she would have come from a different clan, so she needs to look very different. As for how to design her, I was debating on adding red to her design, but eventually I decided I didn't want the characters to be too red, because I do want these characters to look different, and plus I would rather save the red for characters who desperately need it, who we will get to later. So for Vaggie, I chose her to be a little bit shorter, as she is in the show, and I eventually landed on being a silver tabby, a silver grey-blue tabby, as I thought it fit her very well. Obviously, I then added a scar over her eye and back to represent, obviously, one, her lost eye, and the one on the back is to be a little hint of the fact that she lost her wings. I did debate on giving her a big tuft of fur on her head to represent her hair, but eventually decided against that and just put the hair colour on her chest, as I just think it would look a little bit more natural. And I also gave her a few cute little ear tufts on her one ear, as the other ear I've got ripped off. For her name, I was really going to call her Silverclaw, but after doing a little bit of research, I decided to call her Heatherclaw, as heathers are actually the flower for protection, which I think fits Vaggie's character very well. So then I came up with Heatherclaw. The claw being, well, she's a soldier, so it just made sense to me. I did debate on what to do for her eyes, as Vaggie in the show has white eyes, but I didn't want to put that into the character, so eventually I landed with gold eyes. Plus, it would also give a hint to the fact that she's, you know, from a different clan, or in this case, from Heaven, which normally have gold features. So that's what I kept on her. And the only thing that's red on her is her nose, just to give a little bit of a nod. But yeah, so here's Heatherclaw. Next on the list is Angel Dust. Now this is a character I was looking forward to. For those who don't know, Angel Dust is my favourite character of the series. I love him, I adore him, and I just want him to be free. For his character, obviously, I had to make him much taller than the other girls, because obviously he's a lot taller in the show. I was debating on what colour I should do him, and obviously white was definitely going to be his main colour. And while I did debate putting pink on him, I decided not to, because I want to keep these designs in some sort of realism. So I opted with like a grey colour and did some spots, stripes and a heart on his chest to represent the heart on his chest that he had in the pilot. Does he have that in the show? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched episode 4 of season 1. But other than that, I gave him pinkish eyes so that his eyes are still the same colour as this character. I also wanted to make sure his character had like a lot of heart-shaped features, like especially on his chest. I also wanted to make sure that he was a very beautiful looking Tom, which I think I achieved. As for his name, I knew that Spider had to be in it, and I just thought Spider Tuft sounded really cute, because Angel Dust, even though yes, I know it's another word for drugs, it's quite a cutesy name, so I thought that his warrior cat name also had to be a bit cutesy. But this is definitely one of the favourite designs that I've done. I think it fits Angel Dust's vibe really well, and Spider Tuft is just a cute name. Next on my list is Husker, or Husk. Now, this was by far the easiest character to design, obviously because he's, you know, already a cat. So it was pretty much just putting his design on a more realistic design, if that makes sense. The only thing obviously I had to take away was his red features. As I said before, I don't want to overstimulate these characters with red, as that is actually an issue I have with some of the designs in the show, is that there's just too much red in most of the characters. I know it's hell, but it's like, come on. But for Husk, I did change a little bit. Like, I still gave him his tuft at the end of his tail, so he has like a lion tail, which is kind of cool. And I gave him longer ear tufts, like inside the ear, kind of to represent his long eyebrows. And yeah, so I think he looks good. I was debating putting scars on him, but I don't think he needs them. And I didn't give him too much fluff, because again, it just didn't fit his character for me. And luckily he already had gold eyes, so he was straight in. And I also gave him a heart-shaped nose as a little hint to his original design. As for his name, I really debated calling him Husk Shell, which was quite a cool name. But eventually I landed on Smoke Whisker, mainly because I don't want to link these characters too much to their names. I will if I have to, but I feel like Smoke Whisker fits his name better. Smoke because, well, he's mainly miserable and he always kind of hides his intentions and true feelings in a haze of self-care and just being an angry bartender. And Whisker was mainly put the fact that Husk can see things others cannot. He always tends to pick up on people's vibes, and since whiskers are an essential use on cats, I felt like it's a good way to use the name. So yeah, Smoke Whisker this is. I can't wait to draw like fan art of Spider Tuff and Smoke Whisker together. I think that'll be really cute. The next character we're going to do is Cherry Bomb. For Cherry Bomb, I really had a hard time deciding what to do with her. I wasn't sure how much red I wanted to put on her, and I wasn't sure how much blonde I wanted to put on her. And also, I had to keep in mind that Cherry is actually a lot shorter than the other characters. Not by too much, but she's definitely one of the shorter characters. And as you can see here, I started making her look a little bit too much like Nifty, so that's why I quickly changed it so that she'd only have a little bit of red. And I've only just noticed that I kind of negated her blonde hair completely. That was an error on my part, but I actually kind of prefer it this way. She looks a little bit more natural. For her fur, I wanted to keep it spiky and explosion-like, so that's why the fur kind of sticks out, so it kind of looks like an explosion, since, you know, she uses cherry bombs all the time. Her tail, I decided to keep shorter than the others. No particular reason, I just liked the way it looked. I also gave her torn-up ears, as I imagined her to be a really good fighter in the Warrior Cats universe. As for her name, I really had her name chosen from the start, and it was Cherry Flight. Cherry obviously being her actual name, and obviously I would say that she was named after her tail, and Flight because Cherry Bomb never really stays in one place for too long, and she tends to fly off the handle anywhere. And when I say fly off the handle, I mean just not stick around or stick to anything for too long. Like, it's clear she doesn't believe in the chance of redemption, but she will stick around for the shits and giggles, basically, and obviously for Angel Dust. In this AU, I would like to think that Cherry Flight was Spider Tuff's apprentice, and they've got a good relationship, and maybe Cherry Flight moved clans, but she still comes back to visit Angel, or Spider Tuff in this universe. But yeah, no, so I really like the way Cherry Flight turned out. And also, I had to give her little red paws, because I just think it fit her so well. And the last character we're going to do is Alastor. Now, this character, because Alastor's got such a unique design, I knew if I had to do any of these characters as red, it would have to be him. And I will not deny, I really struggled with Alastor. I wanted to obviously make him a cat, but I wanted to kind of make him deer-like, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted him to have a similar build to a deer, like being tall, bulky at the top and thinner at the bottom. But yeah, I really struggled with Alastor. As you can see in the sketch, where you can see that I hesitate quite a bit because I just wasn't sure how I would pull him off. I did eventually come up with a body that I liked, mainly after doing a little bit more guidelines and using Alastor's actual head shape as a base to do his head. And yeah, so now after all that was done, obviously I kept Alastor as red as I possibly could. I didn't want to make him bright red, as you don't really have bright red cats in the Warrior universe. No matter what people say, Alderheart is not cherry red. He is like a darker aldery red, hence his name. For Alastor, I wanted to give him ear tufts to represent his antlers, as, you know, cats don't have antlers. I kept his head tuft the same shape as his actual character, to really bring his character design together. Obviously, he's still got that big toothy grin and red eyes. I made him as tall as I possibly could and tried to make him look very deer-like, as I said, as I didn't want to make him too cutesy. It was mainly to make him more imposing. I did debate on whether giving him a very realistic deer tail to just having a really short stubby tail, but I felt like it would make him look a bit too cute, so I opted to give him a slightly longer tail but still had the same shape of a deer tail. As for his name, again, I really struggled. I was really debating whether to call him something beginning with deer, but I felt like having the prefix of deer sounded way too cutesy for him. So eventually it came with Stag, and eventually we landed on the name of Stag Shadow. I think it fits him very well. The shadow hints to his obviously not so obvious intentions, and Stag would just make sense as it's something a little bit more imposing than deer. But yeah, so as much as I did struggle with Alastor, I am very happy with the design I came up with, and he just looks great next to all the other characters. And that is all of the characters, so here's all the characters together. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys do enjoy it, I can start tackling other franchises that you might want me to do. Please feel free to leave any suggestions in the comment box, and then I will have a go at it. I am going to try and post a bit more frequently now that I'm moving completely away from the Sun and Moon show. Just because I just don't find any enjoyment of making content for that anymore. Yeah, so expect a little bit more on the channel now. I'm going to be making more shorts as well. And with this Hazbin Hotel / Warrior AU, I might even make it a full AU. But obviously I will talk to you guys a bit more about that in the future. Either way, if you did like the video, then please do leave a like and let me receive any feedback that you have. I'm always welcome to feedback. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.